Shalom Yasharallah. Kal Halal Yahweh Bashem Hamashiach Yahawashi. I'm King Obadiah, bringing to the elect of Israel the Most High's truth. This lesson is dealing with Yahawashi's destructive return and the destruction that he's bringing to Edom and really the whole earth. And this event is going to take place before he reveals himself to the elect of Israel. And this event is going to be, well, it's going to be loud. It's going to cast a shadow over the whole earth, and it's going to shake the entire planet. So this event is going to be so big that ain't nobody going to miss this. And this is going to happen before Yahawashi reveals himself to the elect of Israel. Now, what's going to happen is another solar system with a giant red sun and 7 planets surrounding that sun is going to shoot up from, it's going to shoot from behind our yellow sun. It's going to go through our solar system and shoot back out. And this solar system is called Planet X. Okay, X meaning 10, which means the 10th planet. And it's a big red sun with 7 planets, and it's got a 3,600 year orbit. And this is how Yahawashi is coming back. You're going to have a big red sun with 7 planets that's going to shoot out from behind our yellow sun, past Earth, cast a humongous shadow over the whole earth. It's going to make a lot of noise, and when it passes Earth, it's going to grab one of our poles and shift the South Pole to the North Pole and the North Pole to the South Pole. And when that happens, the Most High is going to kill that Negro. He's one dead Negro. He pretty much kicked the camera stand. And he said, fuck that shit that I'm talking about. The Most High is going to slaughter him, okay, his whole fucking family out if he's got one, okay, and probably that guy that's fucking hanging out with him. So where was I? Okay, doggone it. Okay, you're gonna have a planet. You're gonna have a giant red sun with 7 planets that's going to swing out from behind our yellow sun. It's going to shoot out from behind our yellow sun. It's going to pass Earth, swing through our solar system, and shoot back out into outer space. Now, when this giant when this giant red sun passes Earth, it's going to cast a big shadow over the whole Earth, and it's going to be noisy as fuck. Everybody's going to see it. Okay? And it's going to grab one of our poles. Really, it's going to grab one of our poles, and it's going to shift the South Pole to the North Pole and the North Pole to the South Pole. And when that happens, it's going to create humongous waves in the sea, and you're going to have tsunamis everywhere. On top of that, when this solar system, when it swings around through our solar system and it shoots back out, okay, what's going to do is this red sun with the 7 planets, it's going to, when it shoots back out, it's going to shoot debris, which is space debris, space rocks, meteors, okay, meteorites, and all kinds of space stuff. It's going to shower that stuff on the whole earth. Okay, So you're going to have tsunamis everywhere, and you're going to have space debris showering on the planet. Okay? And that's how Yahawashi is coming back. Okay? Planet X, okay, which is the 10th planet, and it's also called Nibiru. It's a giant red sun with 7 planets. It's got a 3,600-year orbit, and this solar system is so, the gravitational pull on this solar system is so strong, it's going to flip both our poles in the opposite direction. And it's going to shower all kinds of meteors and space rocks, and whatever's in its tail is going to shower that stuff onto planet Earth. And it's got a very, very, very long tail. So this is how Yahawashi is coming back. This is the great destruction that's coming to the Earth. This is how the Earth is going to shake, okay, like a drunkard. And this event is going to take place before Yahawashi returns. It's going to take place, and right after it takes place, that's when Yahawashi is going to reveal himself and take up the elect. Okay? And that's the real event of Yahawashi's return. Now I'm going to leave you with a quick video that's going to explain it a little bit better than I explained it. And then I'm going to come back and bring back scriptures describing this planet X. Okay? Yahawashi is coming back with an event that's going to happen before his return. Okay, and this event is Planet X, which is also called Nibiru. And that's how he's coming back. So let's get to this video real quick, and it's going to explain everything.
Until the discovery of Planet X, astronomers had regarded the writings of the ancient Sumerians about this object as legend. When Planet X was discovered in 1983, they suddenly learned that the Sumerians were not the primitive people they had been made out to be by intellectuals of today. Have you ever wondered what the real purpose of the Hubble Space Telescope was intended for? It was not to explore the universe and the solar system, as some have suggested. Rather, the reason for constructing this multi-billion-dollar telescope and then placing it in orbit was for the purpose of observing the inbound Planet X. A June 6th interview with a Hubble insider states this fact as to the Hubble's purpose. He watched this mysterious body through the Hubble telescope and stated that this thing looked as if it was nearby, and the Hubble got cut off, and they encrypted it, and that was the end of any transmission. So let's listen to this interview.
Back in the 1950s, most people aren't aware of it, but there was a scientific storm in America all through the late 50s about this thing out there in space, because the astronomers were all watching it, and that was back when they weren't afraid to talk about it. It was in the science magazines. I mean, I had a subscription to, like, Popular Science, and hell, it was on the front cover of the magazine one day in, like, 1961. And I was really excited when I saw it, because here's this giant red planet on the horizon of the California coast, and a humongous tidal wave coming in towards the coast, and having grew up in the mountains of the Sierras, and this thing in the magazine, it said this tidal wave coming in was going to be at least 3 miles high, and I went in and showed it to everybody in the house, and they laughed, and they said, look, it says right here, there's nothing to worry about. It won't be here for another 50 years. Hey, guess what? That 50 years has came and gone, and this baby's out there in the sky. They've been watching it. I watched it, and I can tell you, this thing has got so much trash coming around it. You know how we live in a solar system? We've got 9 planets and a big sun. This thing has got 7 planets and its own sun. The years as it went by and we watched it, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then finally, about '08, we could see this thing like it was across the street. And we could see that it was a blazing hot ball of fire giving out sparkles of red iron oxide dust for thousands of miles in every direction. And you could see the planet circulating it. Now, I'll tell you one thing that I really am nervous about. I think this thing's got a planet like ours circling it. This is its own solar system. We're about to have a solar system come through the middle of our solar system. This can't be good. But unfortunately, it looks as though that's what's going to happen. We were looking at asteroids right close to this thing. There's asteroids that are floating around right near that are orbiting the main sun itself. These things appear to be about 500 miles across. This thing looks like a giant red teardrop-shaped dust cloud, and you can see once if you're able to see it up close like we did, you can see every speck out there. Now, these CIA people that I know say that we're not going to be that close to it when it goes past us. They're saying that in order to attain breakaway speed, when it comes up around the backside of the sun, its speed will at least double, possibly more, which will put it here earlier than everybody is saying it will, and that this thing will probably be about 20 million miles from us when it crosses in front of us. And then as soon as it flips us upside down, we're going to go into its debris field. These CIA guys told me that this pole shift will probably happen from start to finish in around 28 minutes. That doesn't give you a lot of warning. When you see that thing out there in the sky, you're going to have to run as fast as you can to your underground facility, because this is going to happen so fast. Now, see, here's another thing nobody's talking about. You've got this giant iron planet that they say is 47,000 miles across, getting ready to come up past us. And when it starts to approach us, it's going to start and have real serious effects.
So is it a planet or a failed star?
It's not a failed star. You know, I saw this thing up close. It did not look like a failed star. It looked just like our sun.
Right.
Okay. Would you call our sun a failed star?
No. Okay. Well, you had said planet. I wasn't sure if it was like a failed star, brown dwarf, or a full sun. So it's a full sun?
It looks to me like a miniature sun, just like the one we have. The only difference is our sun is giving off flames and stuff, and this one's doing the same thing as it, but it's giving off this red iron oxide cloud of dust around it. And until it got close, we couldn't even tell what was in there. We could see it was hot, and it looked like it was just a dull red when we were first able to discern it through the red cloud. But as it approached, it started to become more apparent that this thing is just orange hot.
Right.
And it's got this enormous, and I mean enormous, at least 50 or 100,000 miles on each side of it, this red dust cloud that goes all the way around it. I know when we were watching it, as it started to make the upward swing to approach behind our sun, it was amazing. The red dust cloud settled down. Instead of being round, it started to settle down into a V, like wings, upside-down wings.
Right.
And I thought, boy, I wonder if that's where the ancient Sumerians got the idea this thing had wings, because, you know, centrifugal force is a funny thing. When it comes back up around the planet, when we see it in the sky, my guess is it's going to look like it's got wings, because centrifugal force is going to be pulling the red iron oxide dust and particles out to one side. This thing's going to look like a big red dragon, exactly like all the ancient Sumerians and the Chinese and all the rest of them that had documented this thing's passing before. It didn't look like a white ball or a snow cloud or nothing. It looked like a big red iron oxide dust cloud with a superheated star in the middle of it. And, I mean, you know, and that's what we've seen. So, you know, I don't care what anybody else says. There's a possibility. There's more than one thing out there. You know, I watched it through the Hubble Space Telescope, and when this thing looked like it was across the street, the Hubble got cut off and they encrypted it, and that was the end of any transmissions we had to watch. And we know that the Hubble, in order to be in the shadow of the Earth, had to be at an angle, and so that meant it was looking downward, and this thing was coming up underneath of us. And I tell you the honest to God truth, I personally think this thing is real close to us right now, But, you know, that's just my general feeling that, you know, and I'm a pretty psychic guy. I have the feeling that this thing is right close by and that we're going to see it any time. Okay? Because, listen, they've known about this thing forever. And I mean, they've known about it forever. I mean, if I read about it in a science magazine in 1961, that tells you that, I mean, it's only 1,800 years away. How could they not be able to see it when it came around the backside of the last sun and headed this way?
Right, right.
You have to know they've been watching it, because if you know, Carl Sagan was showing stuff that they took with their old telescopes that was billions and billions of miles away. And this thing's only 1,800 years away. Well, and by 1930, it was only 70 years away. You know, we do estimate that this thing, let me give you a thing, maybe you can figure out your own timeline. We estimated that this thing is traveling around 3,500 miles an hour, okay?
Okay.
That was our estimate of its speed. Now, it has been picking up speed, and that's the reason why we think it's going to arrive early, because when it comes around the backside of the sun, it's got to double that speed in order to attain breakaway speed to leave the sun and not wind up orbiting it. It's never orbited the sun in the past that we know of, so that means that it's going to have to attain breakaway speed to head back out into space. Now, you look at the NASA videos, photos, and all this other crap those morons put on the internet. This thing is coming in. It's going to, as soon as it goes around the top of the sun, it's going to go back out into space.
Right.
And it's going to do this really fast. When it goes past us, it's going to go past us so fast that we'll almost have no time to get ready. That's my opinion, but, you know, just drawing it out on paper a few times and thinking about it, and I went, you know, if this thing picks up enough speed to make breakaway speed, then that means it's going to come past us. You know, this thing, according to what I was told, is that this thing is approximately 47,000 miles in diameter, you know, 4 or 5 times the size of the Earth, and it'll come past us, and we won't have a lot of warning, and we won't get to see it in the sky until it's on us. Now, I was told that the poles are not shifting at 42 miles a year. They're shifting at 42 miles a day. And the reason is because this planet is rolling over to face this thing. Now, when it goes by, it's not going to push our North Pole away. It's going to grab our southern pole with its northern pole, and it's going to be like somebody kicked this planet in the ass. That earthquake that it talks about in Revelations, when the opening of the sixth seal comes, from what I've been told, that's very accurate, because that's exactly what's going to happen. There's going to be a massive earthquake when it locks onto us. As it goes past us, we're going to follow it right upside down. The oceans are just going to be roaring from pole to pole, as you could well guess they would, because if you take a planet that's 7,000 miles across and roll it upside down in 30 minutes, you're going to have some real serious problems with wind and water. We should be preparing to expect this thing to show up any time.
So this particular insider is stating in the most revealing terms that something ominous is heading our way that NASA has known about for decades. Nibiru, aka Planet X, and referred to by the Vatican as Wormwood, has a mass that is 3 to 5 times the mass of Jupiter. Its composition is cesium, iron oxide, iron, oxygen, and ozone. And according to the interview by the Hubble Insider, it consists of 7 planets and moons that orbit it and innumerable asteroids. Its existence is known by all of the major governments of the world, and they are prepared, as I described earlier in this presentation. The object is very big, and until recently it is a red dwarf star visible only in the infrared spectrum. The agent claims that the government is monitoring the system and that in 2008 it could be seen in high detail with infrared telescopes.
Okay, now that you understand what's going on and how Yahawashi is returning and the event that's going to take place, let's go to the scriptures and bring it out. Okay, in Revelation 12 verses 3 and 4, you're going to find out it's going to give you the red sun and the 7 planets. So Revelation 12 verses 3 and 4. Okay, these two verses are double-coded verses. It's talking about how many Edomite males are born on the earth, and it's also talking about planet X. So Revelation 12 verses 3 and 4. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. Okay, that's talking about outer space. And behold, a great red dragon. The great red dragon is planet X's red sun. Okay, the red sun is the great red dragon. Having 7 heads. Okay, the 7 heads are the 7 planets. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven. These are talking about meteorites, space rocks, and everything that's in the tail of planet X. And did cast them to the earth. Okay, so that's what planet X, which is also called Nibiru, is going to do to the earth. When it passes by earth, it's going to shower the whole earth with meteorites, space rocks, and everything else that's in its tail. So let's get this. So in Revelation 12 verses 3 and 4, you get the big red sun, and you get the 7 planets, and you also get the meteorites that's going to shower earth. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, okay, the outer space. And behold, a great red dragon, which is the red sun, having 7 heads, okay, the 7 planets, surrounding the red sun. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, okay, meteorites, space rocks, and etc., and did cast them to the earth. And that's what planet X is going to do to the earth when it passes by. Now, when planet X come in, when it swings from behind the sun, and it turns around and goes back out into outer space, where it's going to the Pleiades star system. Okay, and Pleiades is in the Taurus constellation. So planet X is going out back into outer space to the Pleiades. Okay, it's going to pass Pleiades. Okay, and it's going to pass Orion. Okay, and it's going to go to Arcturus. Okay, and that's where it's headed out. And from Arcturus, it's going to spin around, it's going to turn back around, and it's going to come back to the earth from Arcturus. Okay, it's going to pass Arcturus, then Orion, okay, and then the Pleiades star system, and it's going to head back to earth. And this is a 3,600 year orbit. So let's get planet X going back out into outer space. We're going to get that in Amos 5 and 8. So Amos chapter 5 verse 8. Seek him that maketh the 7 stars and Orion. Okay, so we all know that the Most High makes everything that's out there. Okay, but that word make is also dealing with the word pass. So it's also saying seek him that passes the 7 stars. The 7 stars is the Pleiades star system and Orion. Okay, so in Amos 5 and 8, what it's really saying is seek him, the Most High, that passes the 7 stars, the Pleiades, and Orion. Okay, the Orion star system as well. So he's gonna. So when Planet X goes back out into outer space, it's gonna pass Pleiades and Orion and Arcturus. Okay, and that's in Amos 5 and 8. Now to get it coming back to Earth, when it comes back to Earth, it's going to come from Arcturus. It's going to pass Arcturus, then Orion, and then the Pleiades. You get that in Job 9 and 9. So in Job chapter 9, verse 9, which maketh Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades. Okay, that word maketh is talking about the Most High that made these star systems, and that word make is also dealing with the word pass. So let's read that correctly. Job chapter 9, verse 9, which passes Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades. Okay, and when it does that, it's coming back to the Earth, and it's got a 3,600 year orbit. And the chambers of the south. Okay, so what that means is Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades is in the southern portion of the galaxy. That's what that's talking about. So let's get the southern portion of the galaxy. In other words, Nibiru, also known as Planet X, it comes from the south portion, the southern portion of the galaxy to the northern portion, okay, of the galaxy, which is where Earth is. We're in the north, okay, and the Pleiades, Orion, and Arcturus is in the south. So let's get that. Let's read that so we can get that understanding. Job 9, verse 9. When Planet X comes back to the Earth, this is how it's coming back. Which passes Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades, and the chambers of the south. Okay? So those star systems is in the south. And in Job 26, we're going to get that the Earth is in the northern portion of the galaxy. Job 26. Okay, Job 26, verse 7. He stretches out the north over the empty place. That's talking about outer space. And hangeth the earth, this earth, upon nothing. So Earth is in the northern portion of the galaxy. Job 26, verse 7. He stretcheth out the north over the empty place, which is outer space, and hangeth the earth upon nothing. So again, the earth is in the northern portion of the galaxy, which is stretched out. He stretches out the north. So that tells you that Planet X, okay, which is also Nibiru, it comes from the southern portion of the galaxy to our northern portion, okay, from the south to the north, and it comes from behind our sun, swings through our solar system, and goes back out from the north to the south. And you get that in Amos 5 and 8 and Job 9. Let's see, you get that from Job 9 and 9 and Job 26 and 7. Now we're going to have to read through some of these scriptures in Job 9 to find out what's going to happen. Let me check the time on this. Okay, let's deal with Job 9. Okay, Job 9 is going to tell you what Nibiru, which is also planet X, the big red sun and the 7 planets, is going to tell you what it's going to do to the earth. And we're going to get this in Job 9, starting at verse 5. Which removeth the mountains. This is what planet X is going to do to the earth when it gets here. Which removeth the mountains. Okay, Job chapter 9 starting at verse 5. Which removeth the mountains, and they know not. So planet X is going to, mountains are going to move, which means the earth is going to move. Which shaketh the earth out of her place. Okay? Which shaketh the earth out of her place. That means the whole earth is going to be shaken. The whole earth is going to shake. It's going to do this thing right here. Which shaketh the earth out of her place, and the pillars thereof tremble. Okay, the pillars are the buildings. Okay, you could also say the pillars are skyscrapers, but the pillars are buildings, and the pillars thereof tremble. So the buildings you see around, the buildings are going to tremble when this thing happens. He commandeth the sun, and it riseth not. Okay, so somewhere throughout this day, apparently, according to scripture, the sun isn't going to rise. Somewhere throughout this day. And sealeth up the stars, and the stars are not going to shine. Which alone spreadeth out the heavens, and treadeth upon the waves of the sea. Which maketh Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades, and the chambers of the south. Which doeth great things past finding out. Yea, and wonders without number. Lo, he goeth by me, and I see him not. He passeth on also, but I perceive him not. Okay, he goeth by me, and I see him not. Okay, in other words, planet X is going to go by us, but the people aren't going to realize that that's the Messiah of Israel. They're not going to realize that that's the prelude to his coming back. So that's what this verse is saying when it says, he goeth by me and I see him not. Planet X is going to go by us, and the earth, most of the inhabitants of the earth, is not going to understand. That's a prelude to Yahawashi's return. He passeth on also, but I perceive him not. They're not going to understand that planet X is really Yahawashi coming back. Behold, he taketh away, who can hinder him? Who will say unto him, what doest thou? Behold, he taketh away. So when planet X gets here, it's going to take away. It's going to pretty much destroy and take away Esau's kingdom from him. He taketh away, who can hinder him? So who's going to be able to stop? Who's going to be able to stop planet X from destroying the earth, pretty much. Okay? It's going to shake the whole earth. It's going to rain meteor showers onto everything. Okay? It's going to create tsunamis. Who knows how high these tsunamis are going to be. All this stuff is going to go down. Behold, he taketh away, who can hinder him? So who can stop all that? Who will say unto him, what doest thou? Ain't nobody going to be able to say, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because they, number one, they're not going to even know that it's him. So that's what Job chapter 9 is dealing with. Job chapter 9 is describing characteristics, okay, of planet X. That's what Job chapter 9 is doing. It's describing the things that planet X is going to do to the earth. Also, the precept to Job chapter 9 verse 6, which shaketh the earth out of her place, and the pillars thereof tremble. Okay, which shaketh the earth out of her place, and the buildings thereof tremble. The precept for that verse in Job chapter 9 verse 6, the precept for that is Haggai. Okay, let me make sure I got it right. Haggai chapter 2. That's the precept. Okay, and I'm going to break down Haggai chapter 2 in a later video. So we got Job chapter 9, which tells you, which gives you the characteristics of planet X, and the precept for Job chapter 9 verse 6 is Haggai 2. And I'll break down Haggai 2 later. Now let me see if there's anything else in here that I got to break down. Okay, let me check Amos 5. I got to make sure there's nothing I got to break down in Amos 5 as well. I had to give you the basic truth, but there's more, there's a little more to it in some of these verses. Okay, Amos 5, verse 8. Let's break this down. Let me check the camera again. Okay, let's break down Amos 5, verse 8. Seek him that maketh the 7 stars, which is Pleiades and Orion, which is also saying seek him that passes the Pleiades and Orion. And we all know now that that's in the southern portion of the galaxy. So this is talking about what planet X is going to do. Amos 5 verse 8 is going to give us a little more description of what planet X is going to do. Seek him that maketh the Pleiades and Orion, or passes the Pleiades and Orion, and turneth the shadow of earth into the morning, and maketh the day dark with night, that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. The Most High is his name. Okay, so this is Amos 5 verse 8. This is more characteristics of what Planet X is going to do to the earth. Okay, and this is the prelude to Yahawashi's return. Seek him that maketh the 7 stars. Okay, seek him that passes Pleiades and Orion, and turneth the shadow of death. Okay, the shadow of death is talking about Planet X is going to cast a shadow across the entire earth. Okay, it's going to be a great big shadow over the whole earth. This sun is so big, it's going to cast a shadow over the whole earth. Okay, and that's what the shadow of death is talking about. And turneth the shadow of death into the morning. Okay, that's talking about salvation to the elect of Israel. Okay, the shadow of death, which is Planet X, coming through the solar system, which is you got Planet X, which is its own solar system, coming through our solar system. Okay, and it's going to cast a shadow over the whole earth. That's the shadow of death. And turneth the shadow of death into the morning. Okay, that is talking about salvation to the elect of Israel. The shadow of death is going to be turned into the morning when Yahawashi cracks the sky and picks up his elect. And maketh the day dark with night. That's talking about judgment on the heathen nations. Okay, and 2/3 of Israel. And maketh the day dark with night. Okay, so you got Planet X turning the shadow of death into the morning, which is salvation to Israel, and making the day dark with night, which is judgment to the heathen nations, and 2/3 Israel. That calleth for the waves of that calleth for the waters of the sea. So when this planet comes by, again, it's going to flip both poles to the other side. Okay, the South Pole is going to go to the North Pole, and the North Pole is going to be flipped over to the South Pole. In other words, it's going to turn the earth upside down. Okay, that's what's going to happen. Not the land literally, but it's going to turn the poles upside down on each other. And that's how Planet X in Amos 5 and 8 is going to call for the waters of the sea and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. Okay, so when the poles are swapped from one pole to the other, okay, when that happens, they're reversed. It's going to create waves in the sea, humongous waves. Okay, and these waves are going to create humongous tsunamis. And these tsunamis are going to go upon the face of the earth in Amos 5 and 8. So now you understand what Planet X is going to do to the earth. Seek him that maketh seek him that passes the Pleiades and Orion, and turneth the shadow of death into the morning, salvation to Israel, to the elect of Israel, and maketh the day dark with night, judgment to the heathens, and 2/3 Israel. That calleth for the waters of the sea, okay, tsunamis, and poureth them upon the face of the earth. And these tsunamis are going to hit the land. The Most High is his name. So there you have it. That's what Planet X is going to do to the earth. I also got more verses to pull out as well. Okay, I'm going to stop right here and check the batteries, and then I'm going to come back. Okay, so let's break down planet X in Revelation 6, starting at verse 12. Okay, and this is dealing with the sixth seal. This is dealing with Yahawashi's return. You're going to find out that planet X is going to show up before Yahawashi cracks the sky. So, Revelation 6, starting at verse 12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. Okay, so you get the great earthquake in verse 12, and you get Yahawashi's return in verse 17. Okay, in Revelation 6. So let's go through this. Revelation 6, verse 12. And I beheld when he opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. The great earthquake is planet X. Okay, Nibiru coming through our solar system. And lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. In other words, the sun isn't going to shine and the moon isn't going to shine, because this big red sun is going to cast a shadow over the whole earth. And the stars of heaven fell onto the earth. Okay, the stars of heaven that's falling on the earth is meteorites, space rocks, and everything else that's in the tail of planet X. Okay, it's going to come out, it's in the tail of that big red sun. And all this stuff is going to fall to the earth. Even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind, and the heaven departed as a scroll. The reason the sky is departing as the scroll is because it's got meteorites and space rocks falling through it. That's why it's departing as a scroll. When it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Okay, the reason the mountains and islands are moving out of their places is because the poles, the north and the south poles, are being flipped end to end. The north pole is going to be flipped to the south, and the south to the north. And every mountain and island were moved out of their places, and that's going to move the whole earth. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Okay, the reason that the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, the reason they're all screaming, hide us from him, is because they're looking in the sky, and they see a big red sun making a lot of freaking noise. This thing is going to make a lot of noise. It's making a lot of noise. They look in the sky, they see a big ass red sun, okay, with wings. It's going to look like it's got wings because it's flying really fast through the solar system. And the debris that's coming from the sun, the red sun, is going to make the sun look like it's got wings. So they're looking in the sky, they see this big great red dragon, okay, a big red sun with wings, okay, and 7 planets flying through the they're going to look in the sky and see that passing the earth, and it's going to cast a shadow on the earth. And this planet X, this big red sun, is going to also cast meteorites and space rocks down to the earth, and it's going to shake the whole planet. Yeah, they're going to be scared out of their damn minds when this goes down. So that's what the rich men and the captains and the mighty men and the kings, well, that's what they're going to see, and that's what's going to put the fear in them. Now, let's see if we can get precepts for Revelation 6, verses 12 through 17. Let's get the precepts for these verses. And I beheld when he opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth, and the moon became as blood. Now let's go to Matthew 24. The precept for that verse is Matthew 24. Okay. So, Matthew 24, we're going to start at verse 36. Okay, Matthew 24, starting at verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so also shall the coming of the Son of Man be. So, we know that Matthew 24, verse 36 is talking about, well, it's talking about World War IV when the Most High comes back, and verse 37 is talking about World War III when Yahawashi comes back, when Yahawashi returns. But as the days of Noah were, so we'll start at verse 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. This is talking about the heathens and the 2/3 of Israelites who ain't going to really know what's going on. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So what these verses are really talking about is that the heathen nations and 2/3 of Israel they're gonna look up in the sky when they see Planet X and that big ass red sun, and they ain't gonna have no clue what the heck is going on. So that's what these verses are actually talking about. Now we know that Planet X is connected to Haggai 2, but I'm just here to bring out the event that's going to happen before Yahawashi reveals himself. We also got other verses. Now let's go back to Revelation 6. We're going to bring out the precepts for that. Revelation 6 verse 14. Let's bring out the precepts for that. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. The precept for that is Isaiah. Well, let me see. Let's see what we're going to do. I got to check it out first. Let me check it out first. We're going to go to Jeremiah, and we're going to see what's in Jeremiah 3. I believe he said Jeremiah. I believe it said Jeremiah 3. Okay, let's see what's there. I'm bringing out precepts to Revelation 6, verse 14. Okay, Jeremiah 3. The precept to Revelation 6, verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. The precept to that, according to my Bible, is Jeremiah 3, verse 23. So let's read that. Jeremiah 3, verse 23. Truly in vain salvation is hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in the Most High our power is the salvation. Let's see, is the salvation of Israel. Okay, so let's read that again. Okay, Revelation 6, verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. This is a double-coded verse. Okay, the mountain and islands is talking about the literal mountains and islands that's going to move when the earth is shaking. Okay, and the mountains are also talking about people. It's talking about the heathen nations. The mountains are the rulers of the heathen nations, and the hills, let's see, the islands are the hills, which is the so-called regular heathens, the regular everyday heathens. And this is in Revelation 6, verse 14. And every mountain and island were moved out of their places, and every ruler and people, okay, out of the heathen nations were moved out of their places, because the earth itself is going to move. And the precept for that is Jeremiah 3, verse 23. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills. Okay, the regular so-called everyday heathens, and from the multitude of mountains, the rulers out of the heathen nations. Truly in the Most High our power is the salvation of Israel. Okay, the elect of Israel. So when Yahawashi comes back, that's telling you who's going to get salvation. Revelation 6 verse 14 is telling you who's going to get salvation. Truly in vain is the salvation hoped for from the hills, the regular Gentiles, and from the multitude of mountains, the ruling Gentiles. Truly in the Most High power is the salvation of Israel. So the Israelites, the elect of Israel, we're going to get salvation, but the heathen nations are not. Okay, and the salvation is freedom from slavery and oppression, just so you know. We also have another verse to break down in Revelation 6. Let me check the time. Okay, in Revelation 6 we got another verse. I know that this video is long, but I'm going through all of this. Isaiah 2. Because I'm not going to leave, honestly, I ain't going to leave no stone unturned on this. Okay. Let's break down this verse in the sixth seal. Revelation 6, verse 15. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. The precept for that is Isaiah 2:19. Okay, so Isaiah 2, verse 19. And they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth, for the fear of the Most High, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. Okay. So the precept for Revelation 6, verse 15 in Isaiah is Isaiah 2, verse 19. And they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth, for fear of the Most High, for fear of the Most High, for the fear of the Messiah, and for the glory. Okay, well actually that's for fear of the Most High, and for the glory of his majesty. His majesty is the his majesty would be Yahawashi. When he arises to shake terribly the earth. Okay, so that's what's going to cause these heathens to go into their hiding places. Isaiah 2:19. For fear of the Most High, and for the glory of his majesty, which is Yahawashi, when he ariseth, when he shows up, to shake terribly the earth. So the precept in the sixth seal for Revelation 6, verse 15 is Isaiah 2:19, when Yahawashi passes by and shakes terribly the earth. Okay, with that big red sun. We also got another one. For the great day of his wrath is come. Okay, Revelation 6, verse 17. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Let's go to Psalm 76. Psalm 76, verse 7. Okay, we're going to start in Revelation 6:17, and then go to Psalm 76 and 7. Revelation 6:17. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Psalm 76 and 7. Thou, even thou, art to be feared, and who may stand in thy sight when once thou art angry? Okay, so when Planet X goes by, okay, when Planet X, this solar system with a giant red sun and 7 planets comes by Earth, that's going to be the Most High's anger. That's going to be Yahawashi's anger as well. And those are the precepts for Revelation 6, verses 12 through 17. Those are the precepts for the 6th seal. Now let's check the camera. We're going to stop it right here and start over and start to another lesson as well. Alright, I'm back. So now we're going to deal with the next lesson in Planet X. The next lesson is the earth shall reel like a drunkard. Now we're going to get that in Isaiah 24. So I'm going to read to you the pertinent verses first, and then I'm going to break down this whole chapter, Isaiah 24. Let's get the pertinent verses first. And Isaiah 24 is dealing with Planet X, which is also Nibiru, the big red sun with the 7 planets that's going to swing around Earth and go back out into outer space. Okay, Isaiah 24. Behold, the Most High maketh the earth empty. He maketh it waste. He turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. Let's break that down. Behold, the Most High maketh the earth empty. He's slaughtering out heathens. Okay? He's slaughtering out heathens. Okay? And 2/3 Israel. That's what he's doing. That's how he's making the earth empty. And maketh it waste. He's making it waste because he's destroying everything. And turneth it upside down. Okay? When Planet X passes by the earth, it's going to flip both poles on each end. Okay? The North Pole is going to the south, and the South Pole is going where the North Pole is. And turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. These heathens are going to be running for their lives. Okay? You're going to have space rocks and meteorites showering the earth from Planet X. And these heathens are going to be running from their lives when they look up in the sky and see these meteors showering down, raining down the earth. Now let's skip down to verses 19 and 20. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. Okay, and that's what's going to happen. The whole earth is going to move. The whole earth is going to shake. It's going to quake. It's going to move exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. To and fro like a drunkard. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. That's talking about the earth is gonna sway back and forth like a hammock, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. Okay, that's talking about Esau's kingdom being destroyed. Now let's break down Isaiah 24. We're going to break down this whole verse. Salaki, we're going to break down this entire chapter, because the whole chapter is dealing with Planet X. Okay, the whole chapter is dealing with this big ass red sun with 7 planets moving pretty much flying at great speed through our solar system and back out. This is what Isaiah 24 is dealing with. So let's break down the whole chapter. Behold, the Most High maketh the earth empty. He maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be, as with the people, so with the priest. Okay, this means everybody is going to experience the same thing. Okay, ain't nobody going to fucking escape from this. Okay, the rich man, okay, and even the poor man They're going to have to deal with this. They're going to have to deal with the earth shaking to and fro and reeling like a drunkard, okay, and swaying like it's in a hammock. Everybody's going to have to deal with this. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, okay, those who take interest, so with the giver of usury to him, those who pay interest. So everybody, even the lender and the borrower and the rich and the poor, everybody's going to have to deal with this earth shaking and reeling to and fro like a drunkard and swaying like it's in a hammock. Everybody's going to have to deal with it. The land shall be utterly emptied. Okay, well, we already know that means that the heathen nations are going to get slaughtered out like pigs. Okay, the land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled. Okay, when the heathens are put to death. Okay, and utterly spoiled. Okay, other people like Israelites are going to come in and take their stuff. That's the spoiling. And utterly spoiled. For the Most High has spoken this word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth it, and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. Okay, these proud heathens, okay, and wicked Israelites, they're going to have problems when this goes down. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Now that could go both ways. That could be talking about 2/3 of Israel, okay, but mostly it's talking about the heathen nations. The earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Just talking about the heathens, because they have transgressed the laws. Okay, that's talking about the universal laws. So it's a universal law would be treat your brother as you want to be treated. That's the universal law. That's the law they transgressed. Changed the ordinance. Okay, and broken the everlasting covenant. Okay, this is the covenant that the heathens broke. When they put the Israelites in slavery, they broke the brotherly covenant. That's the everlasting covenant they broke. Therefore hath the curse devoured the whole earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Okay, the heathens are going to be desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Okay? When the earth is swaying to and fro and wheeling to and fro like a drunkard, this is going to start a lot of fires, okay? Plus you're going to have meteorites and space rocks falling to the earth, starting fires. And the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. This is going to slaughter out a lot of people. The new wine mourneth. The wine languisheth. All the merry-hearted do sigh. The new wine mourneth. Okay, that's talking about, I believe, the rich people. They're mourning now. All the merry-hearted do sigh. Okay, it's not going to be happy-go-lucky anymore when this goes down. He's going to wipe the frowns off. He's going to wipe the smiles off off the heathens' faces. The mirth of tabrets ceaseth. The mirth of tabrets, okay, tambourines, ceaseth. The noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the harp ceaseth. Ceaseth. I can't even say that word. Ceaseth. Okay, so let's break that down. Isaiah 24:8. The mirth of the tabrets ceaseth. Okay, that word mirth is talking about joy. The joy of tambourines ceaseth. Okay, so it's not going to be any more. It's not going to be any more musical instruments going off, playing music. The noise of them that rejoice ended. Okay, so the heathen nations are no longer going to sing songs and enjoy themselves. The joy of the harp ceaseth. Okay, so the joy of the harp, that means the joy of music and singing and dance and song, is going to end on that day. They shall not drink wine with a song. Okay, they shall not drink wine with a song, because there ain't going to be no more music. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. It's going to be bitter because they're not going to have any happiness in that strong drink. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up so that no man may come in. The city of confusion is broken down. Okay? The Edomite kingdom is pretty much destroyed. Every house is shut up. Okay? That's talking about houses, businesses. Okay? People are going to shut their houses. They're going to lock up their houses. They're going to lock up their businesses. That's the houses to shut up. Every house is shut up. That's talking about private residences and businesses. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. People are going to be trying to lock people out of their houses. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. Okay, all joy is darkened. This is talking about the heathen nations. All joy is darkened. They going the Most High. This planet X is going to wipe the smile off their faces. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. That's talking about the joy of the land. The joy of the land is gone. Okay. All joy is darkened. No more happy times for the heathens. The mirth of the land is gone. The joy of the land is gone because everything is destroyed. And the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. So the city is going to be desolate, and the protection dealing with the city is going to be destroyed. When it shall be in the midst of the land amongst the people, there shall be as the shaking of an olive tree, and as the gleaning grapes when the vintage is done. So we know what the shaking of the olive tree is about. They shall lift up their heads. They shall sing for the majesty of the Most High. They shall cry aloud from the sea. That's talking about the elect of Israel singing joy to the Most High, because when we see that big ass red sun fly by earth, we're going to know that our salvation is here. That's what we're going to know. That's what when the Israelites, and this is why I'm teaching you this. If for the elect of Israel, when you see that big ass red sun, okay, fly by earth, okay, making a whole lot of noise, when you see that, that's your salvation. Okay? They shall lift up they shall lift up their voice. They shall sing for the majesty of the Most High. They shall cry aloud from the sea. Okay, from the sea are the people. Wherefore glorify ye the Most High in the fires. Okay, wherefore glorify ye the Most High in the fires. Why the Israelites glorifying the Most High in the fires? Because when we see that big ass red sun with the 7 planets fly by earth, we're going to know that's going to be our salvation. Wherefore glorify ye the Most High in the fires, even the name of the Most High of Israel and the isles of the sea. From the uttermost part of the earth have we heard songs, even the glory to the righteous. Okay, the elect of Israel is going to be singing songs of praise when planet Nibiru flies by. We're going to be singing, and the heathens are going to be they're going to be scared out of their damn minds. For the uttermost part of the earth have we heard songs, even glory to the righteous. But I said, my leanness, woe unto me, the treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously. The treacherous dealers have dealt very treacherously. Okay, and this is what's going to happen to the heathens, the treacherous dealers. This is what's going to happen to the heathens when planet X flies by. Fear and the pit and the snare are upon thee, O inhabitants of the earth. The inhabitants of the earth in this case are the heathens. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise, okay, the noise is planet Nibiru flying planet X, okay? The reason I don't say Nibiru is because Nibiru is even though Nibiru means point of transition, Nibiru goes back to ancient Babylon. The word Nibiru comes from ancient Babylon. That's why I don't like to say Nibiru too much. But let's read this again. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise, this is talking about the heathens who are running for their lives when they look up and see a big ass red sun with 7 planets flying by the earth. Okay, it's going to make a lot of noise. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise, running for the heathens, running for their lives, of their fear shall fall into the pit. Okay, they're going to fall into a pit of death. And he that climbeth up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. Okay, so let's say somebody comes up out of their basement. Okay, but they're going to be taken in a snare. The snare is going to be a big ass meteorite falling on their head. So it doesn't matter, okay, whether the heathens are running away from or coming out of, they're still going to get put to death. It doesn't matter. There's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. That's what this verse is saying. And it shall come to pass, we're still in Isaiah 24. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake. The windows from on high are open because you got meteorites and space rocks falling down to the planet. And the foundations of the earth do shake. And we know the foundations are going to shake because planet X is going to shift the poles from end to end. The earth is utterly broken down, the earth is clean dissolved, the earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. It shall be removed like a cottage. It's going to sway like a hammock. And the transgressions thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Most High shall punish the host of the high ones. Shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. Okay, so when planet X flies by, okay, and it swings through our solar system and goes back out, that's going to be the punishment of the Most High upon these heathens. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners gathered together in a pit. The reason they're going to be gathered together is because they're on planet Earth. Okay? Planet Earth is going to be one big pit. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison. The prison is going to be planet Earth. The whole Earth. That's going to be the prison. And after many days shall they be visited. That's talking about the Most High coming back in World War IV. Then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun shall be ashamed, when the Most High of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem and before his ancients gloriously. So there you have it. Okay, Isaiah 24, the entire chapter broken down. Okay, and the lesson in Isaiah 24 is dealing with the earth shall reel like a drunkard. And you get that in Isaiah 24 verse 1 and verses 19 and 20. But I went on ahead and broke down the whole chapter of Isaiah 24 anyway. Okay, this is the last lesson. This is the final lesson. And this lesson is one taken and the other left. So we're going to deal when Planet X comes to Earth, okay? When it flies by Earth, okay, and when it goes through our solar system and goes back out. Well, one is going to be taken and the other left. That word taken is dealing with death, slaughter, okay? And that word left is being left alive. So one is going to be taken, one is going to be put to death, and the other is going to be left. The other one is going to run for his life. And we're going to get this in Luke 17, verses 26 through 37. We're going to break the whole thing down. Luke 17, verses 26, all the way down to 37. Luke 17 verse 26. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage. Okay, so they're going to be, the heathens are going to still be enjoying themselves. It's just another day. Just another day. Okay? And they did eat, they eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise, also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. These heathens are going to be living out their lives, okay, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Planet X is going to show up. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. That's what Planet X is going to do. Okay? It's going to be raining. It's going to be raining meteorites and space rocks, and I'm pretty sure those rocks and meteorites are going to come down with fire. It rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. And this is going to start a lot of fires and slaughter a lot of heathens. Even thus shall it be in the days when the Son of Man is revealed. Okay, and these heathens ain't going to be looking for it. Okay, the heathens and even 2/3 of Israel ain't going to be looking for Planet X. In that day, he which shall be, okay, now, in that day, he which shall be upon the housetop, and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. This is a warning from the Most High. Okay, this warning goes to the elect of Israel. This is a warning from the Most High to the elect of Israel. Okay? That's what this warning is talking about. When you look up and when you Israelites that are in the truth, when you look up in the sky and you see that big ass red sun covering the whole earth, okay? When you see that big ass red sun that looks like a dragon, it's gonna look like a dragon. You're gonna see a big ass red sun with wings, okay? And that's gonna look like a dragon in the sky. When you see that, and it's making a whole lot of noise, the Most High, it's gonna make you come out of your house. Okay? It's gonna make a lot of noise. You're gonna come out of your house. You're gonna look up in the sky. You can see a big ass fucking red dragon in the sky with wings. When you see that, don't go back in your house. That's what the Most High is saying. Okay? And the reason you don't want to go back in your house is because somewhere in there the chariots are gonna crack the sky and beam up the elect of Israel. Okay? That's why you don't want to go back in. Alright? That's what the Most High is telling you. So let's go through this. Luke 17, verse 31. And that day, he which shall be upon the housetop, and his stuff in the house. Your things are in the house. Let him not come down to take it away. Do not come back. Do not go in the house to take your stuff away. Don't fucking go back in the house when you see a big ass red dragon in the sky and it's making a ton of noise, okay, and it's flying by pretty fast. It's gonna take about like 30 minutes, and you're gonna go out and you're gonna see a big ass red dragon in the sky. When you see that, don't go back in the fucking house, because the chariots are gonna come and pick up the elect of Israel right around that time. Okay, that's what he's saying. He which shall be upon the housetop, and his stuff in the house. Your things are in the house. Let him not come down to take it away. You don't want to go back in the house. There's nothing in there you want. And he that is in the field, let him likewise not return back. If you're already in the field, you're in the perfect place to get beamed up. So you don't want to fucking run back into the house. Remember Lot's wife. Okay? So this is a warning from the Most High to the elect of Israel. Remember Lot's wife. Okay? You don't want, when you look up in the sky, you see the big ass red dragon, okay, which is really a red sun with 7 planets flying by the earth. You don't want to fucking go back in the house to get nothing. Remember Lot's wife. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it. And whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. Okay, whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it. If you go back in the house to try to get something, or to go back in the house to try to hide or whatever, you're going to end up losing your life. That's what the Most High is saying to the elect of Israel. Okay? When you see the big red dragon in the sky, you run back in the house, try for protection. You're going to die in there. That's what the Most High is saying. Okay? Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it. If you run back in your house, okay, to get anything, okay, you're going to die in there. Now, that's really talking to the heathen nations, but he's given the elect of Israel a warning not to go back in. Okay, just so we clear. And whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. In other words, if you leave your stuff behind, okay, to the elect of Israel, when you see the big red dragon in the sky and you run out the house to see what's happening, okay, this is how it's going to go down. Let me explain how it's going to go down. You're going to be in your crib. You're going to be in your house, okay? And then all of a sudden, you're going to hear this big ass fucking loud noise come out of nowhere. Where the fuck is that noise coming from? You're going to go out, you're going to look in the sky and say, oh, fuck? What the fuck is that? That's a big ass red dragon in the sky with wings. Okay? Well, when you see that, to the elect of Israel, this is what the Most High is saying. And whomsoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. Okay? When you go outside and you see that big red dragon in the sky, don't go back in the house. Okay? Because what's coming next is Yahawashi cracking the sky to beam up the elect. That's why you don't want to fucking run back in for nothing. Okay? You want to take your kids with you. Okay? Take your kids with you. For the elect of Israel, just go ahead and take your kids with you. Okay? You want to, when you hear that big ass noise, okay, and this is what it means when he says be ready. Okay? This is what Yahawashi is telling the elect when he says be ready. Okay? When you hear that big ass noise, okay, and you run out and see a big red dragon in the sky, you really don't want to run back in the house. Okay? You're supposed to fucking be ready and waiting for this noise to come. And you're supposed to, if you got kids in the house, they're supposed to already be with you, so that when you fucking run out the house and see that big ass red dragon in the sky, you already got your kids with you. Okay? So you don't want to run back in the house for nothing. That's the warning. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it. Don't run back in the house. And whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. Okay? You don't want to go back in the house, because that is the salvation of Israel. You're going to be outside getting beamed up. That's why you don't want to go back in. I tell you, and that night there shall be 2 men in one bed, and the one shall be taken and the other shall be left. Okay? 2 men in one bed. What is that about? Let's read it again. Break that down. I tell you, and that night there shall be 2 men in one bed. That's talking about 2 sinners. 2 sinners in one bed. Okay? And they're sinning their ass off. Okay? When Planet X rolls by, there are 2 men in one bed sinning their ass off. Okay? In other words, there are 2 sinners in one bed. I tell you, in that night there shall be 2 men in one bed. The one shall be taken. Okay? One sinner is going to be put to death. Okay? The house is going to shake. A beam is going to fall out of the ceiling and crack his skull open. And the other shall be left. Okay? And the other one is going to be horrified when he sees it, and he's going to run for his life. Two women shall be grinding together. The one shall be taken and the other left. These are talking about 2 sinners. One shall be taken and the other left. One shall be put to death, and the other is going to be left alive and horrified, running for her life. 2 men shall be in the field. The one shall be taken and the other left. And they answered and said unto him, Where, Messiah? And he said unto them, Whithersoever the body is. Okay, talk about the dead body. There will the eagles be gathered together. Okay, so Luke 17 is the Most High's, okay, and Yahawashi's warning to the elect of Israel. When you hear that big noise, you're going to hear a big ass noise in the sky, and you run out the door and you see a big ass red dragon in the sky passing by the earth, casting a shadow over the earth. When you see that, you don't really want to run back in your house for nothing. Okay? And on top of that, you want to have your kids with you. Okay? And you want to have your kids with you when you run out of the house, so that you don't have to run back in there to get your kids or any of that. Okay? You understand? So, let's read Luke 17:20. We're going to read the pertinent verses in Luke 17 so you get the full meaning. In that day, he which shall be upon the housetop and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. And he that is in the field, let him likewise not return back. If you're in the field, you're in a perfect place to get beamed up. You damn sure don't want to go back. Remember Lot's wife. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it. If you run back in your house for safety, you're going to die in there. That's what he's saying. And whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. If you come out of your house and stay out in the field, okay, if you're an elect of Israel, you're going to get beamed up. That's where you're going to get beamed up. I tell you, in that night there shall be 2 men in one bed, 2 sinners in one bed. The one shall be taken, put to death, and the other shall be left. The other one is going to be horrified and run for his life. 2 women shall be grinding together, the one shall be taken and the other left. 2 men shall be in one field, the one shall be taken and the other left. And they answered and said unto them, Where, Messiah? And he said unto them, Whithersoever the body is, okay, the dead body, there will the eagles be gathered together. Okay, so there you have it, Israel. That's the whole breakdown on planet Nibiru. Okay, well, no, Salakia. That's the whole breakdown on planet X, okay, which is also called Nibiru, which is a 10th planet in this solar system right now. We got a 10th planet hiding behind the yellow sun right now. We got a 10th planet hiding behind the yellow sun. Let me see how much time we got. Okay, that's the breakdown on planet X, which is also called Nibiru, which is the 10th planet in our solar system right now. Now, this planet, okay, which is really a big red sun with 7 planets, is hiding behind the sun. Okay, so you got a red sun with 7 planets. Now, the lessons that I went through is this. These are the lessons I went through. Nibiru's red sun. Okay, you get Nibiru's red. You get Planet X's red sun in Revelation 12 verses 3 and 4. Planet X goes out to the Pleiades, goes out, okay, away from Earth. In outer space, it goes to Pleiades. It passes Pleiades, Orion, and Arcturus, okay, and it swings back around and comes back to the Earth in a 3,600 year orbit. From Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades. So Planet X goes out. You get that in Amos 5 and 8. And Planet X comes back in. It comes back into Earth. You get that in Job 9 and 9. Okay, and it comes back in from Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades. Now Planet X comes from the south, which is in Job 9 and 9. It comes from the south, the southern part of the galaxy in Job 9 and 9 to the northern part of the galaxy, which is where Earth is, in Job 26 and 7. Okay, and when it swings around Earth and goes back out, it's going back out to the southern portion of the galaxy, from the north to the south. And that's lesson 3. Lesson 4, you got Yahawashi's return, okay, which is in the 6th seal in Revelations, starting at verse in Revelation 6, starting at verse 12. And in lesson 5, you get the earth is going to reel like a drunkard, okay, and you get that in Isaiah 24, verses 1 and 19 and 20. Okay, and I went over ahead and broke the whole chapter down. And you get in lesson 6, one shall be taken and the other left. Okay, Luke 17, verses 26 through 37. Okay, so when you see this thing goes down, when you look up in the sky, you see the big red dragon. You come out your house and you see that, you don't want to run back in the house for nothing. You want to have everything with you, okay, that you're going to need, like your kids, okay. You want to have your kids with you so you don't have to freaking run back in. And this is to the elect of Israel. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you this much, okay. This lesson is about telling you what's coming before Yahawashi, right before he returns. There's going to be an event, and the event is going to be Planet X, okay, which is also called Nibiru. Now, this lesson is about the event that's going to take place right before he returns. And it's not about calling out, you know, I'm not trying to call out any kind of date in this video, okay, but at the same time, Planet X is connected to, okay, the precept for one of these verses. Out of all those verses I read, one of the precepts for those verses is Haggai chapter 2. And I'm going to break Haggai chapter 2 down in a later lesson, in another lesson. So there you have it. Planet X is going to come from behind the sun, okay? Actually, you're going to have a red sun with 7 planets shoot out from behind our yellow sun, okay? It's going to pass Earth, it's going to go through our solar system, shoot back out into outer space, okay? And when it does that, when it passes Earth, it's going to grab one of our poles and it's going to shift both poles opposite in each other. The North Pole is going to go to the South Pole is going to go to the North. It's going to create a big wave. The whole Earth is going to shake like it's in a hammock. It's going to rain. It's going to cast a big shadow over the Earth. It's also going to rain down meteorites, and space rocks, and anything else that's in its tail, okay? And all this stuff is going to happen. It's going to create a lot of fires also. It's going to turn out the lights. The lights are going to get turned out. This thing is going to turn out the lights, okay? You're going to hear a noise in the sky when this goes down. It's probably going to be very loud. Very loud. It's going to bring you out of your house. You're going to be looking for this. You know, you got to be ready. So when you come out of the house and you see the big red dragon, you already want to have your kids with you. Okay? This is to the elect of Israel. Pretty much you want to have your family with you to the elect of Israel when you come out that house. That's what Yahawashi is saying when he says be ready. This is going to happen. This planet thing, Planet X, is going to go down. This whole thing is going to happen in about a half hour. Okay? About a half hour, and that's going to be it. It's going to be barely any warning. Okay? And that's what the scriptures mean when it says he's coming like a thief in the night. It's going to be hardly any warning. And you ain't going to really have any time to react. So you're going to have to be ready when this goes down. And I even gave you the truth that Planet X is connected to Haggai 2. So you even got a pretty much a time frame to look for it. So there you have it, Israel. I'm King Obadiah, bringing this truth of Yahawashi's return to the elect of Israel. All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High, and blessings to Yahawashi for revealing this truth to me. Fawadah Yahawashi for revealing this to me so that I can give it to the elect of Israel. Barakatah Yahweh Bashem Hamashiach Yahawashi. Kam Yasharallah. Shalom Israel.